Hey there! So today we have another Darwin's Rants, and honestly, I'm gonna give you guys a little preface and all that stuff. But honestly, in this situation right now, I had a pretty rough week. But today specifically had a very 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 long day, and a rough day too. The longest day I've had in like forever. I can't remember the last time I did this long. And most people would come home. It's like 12:45 right now, by the way. Literally 12:45. We'll go home and just like relax. Obviously, I grabbed a drink. If it's up to me, I'd be angry drinking right now. But Katie's out of town. I got the kids, and so fortunately, can't be angry drinking. But I'm gonna have a drink. Because you're curious, it's a bourbon cherry zero. Check that out. Good stuff. Not literally, but whatever. It does the job. And most people would just like, all right, take a shower, relax, unwind, and you had a rough day. For me, my unwinding is talking to you dummies. Or, sorry, my dumbass talking to you guys. This is how Darwin's Rant started. Darwin's Rant started because I was frustrated with Uber Eats. And I had to release that anger and rant it, and the rant started. And then all of a sudden, people saw this side of me and were like, oh shit, this is fun. So, as much as you guys enjoy this is how my dumbass enjoys it. To like relieve my tension, because otherwise I'd be just talking in the mirror and talking to myself. But instead I'm talking to a camera. But there's people actually listening, which is crazy. So who knows? So let's talk about my long week. So if you don't know, in Florida, this is slow season. Summer's slow season. I have like 6 years worth of data of like blah blah. It's about like June through September is like the low. It just slows down. I don't know why. It's hot. I don't know what happens. People just don't go out to eat and drink as much. No clue why. September's the low. If there's anything that could be the opposite of the bee's knees, it's September. The Marianas Trench, it's the floor. It's so bad. Granted, if your job's good enough, there's like certain shifts, that even out, that make it worth it. But the lows, the lows and the lows are so bad. Good example. I go to F&D Cantina on Monday. It's a Monday lunch. Granted, the lunches have been hot doo-doo anyway. The worst one I've ever had. So first off, you make $10 an hour to spend an entire hour just setting it up. The furniture, the appetizers, and this and that, to make the tea, and there's standard things you do for opening up a restaurant. I've done that for a gajillion years now. But the big extra one's like moving all this outdoor furniture that's like all broken and shit. So I'm like sweating my dick off. So I wear pants, and everybody like when I come into work, I wear shorts. Everybody thinks I'm like, ooh, he's got shorts on, because the dress code is actually pants, but I switch into pants because I ain't fucking going out in 100-degree Florida weather, moving fucking shitty metal furniture that's all broken and shit that nobody even wants to steal anyway. But God forbid it gets left out on a quaint suburban neighborhood, or not. It's not a suburban, but a quaint, neighborhood that nobody really like. Whatever, fuck it. Anyway, you're lifting that shit. Pop, pop, pop. I see it as a workout, so I'll take it as that as a hit. Anyway, there's a bunch of other shit. So it's a full hour to open. I don't think I've really. There's almost no jobs at work where like it takes a whole hour. Oh no. Yeah, one of my jobs, they schedule you a full hour. Yeah. You're right. That is one job. One of my first bartending jobs, actually. But then, honestly, I got so lazy, I would just start coming in late because I was like, I can get this done in half an hour. And then the general manager one day was there, and he was like, what the fuck? You're late. I was like, bro, I can get this done. And I was like hustling. I got it done. But anyway, I don't think I got in trouble, but he noticed. Anyway. So spent a whole hour opening. Literally 2 people came in the building, had lunch. I made $11 in tips, got cut, and went home. Next day, I did a Taco Tuesday. Usually it's like a pretty banging shift. Actually, when I got hired, my friend, my former manager, is now my manager again. Talked about, oh man, Tuesday's crazy. Da, 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 da. I know I worked 5 hours, almost 6, over 5 hours. I made like $60. Not great. So that sucked. Then I lost my Wednesday shift because Runabout's cutting down hours because it's just not busy enough to have 2 bartenders. So lost that shift. Wasn't scheduled on Thursday. Then Katie actually had the last minute flight back to Michigan for a family emergency. So she had to fly out on a Friday. So I was able to work on Friday morning. I did okay. Runabout actually on Friday mornings, you're just by yourself. Bartender, server, you do everything. So it can only, it can only be so bad if you're taking the entire restaurant, right? That's 24 bar seats, 50 plus restaurant seats. Like, you're doing everything. But then obviously, if Katie's out of town, I couldn't work night. I was actually supposed to work night at F&E Cantina. Couldn't work, so gave up that shift and had to pick up the girls from school. All right, cool. Then I knew I had a long, long Saturday. So Saturday, Katie was actually thankfully able to find somebody to watch the girls. But that's a long day. I was like, fuck, like, you sure? Because I was actually supposed to work open at Runabout at 10:30 in the morning, then close F&E Cantina at like 11 or midnight, who knows what. I was like, somebody's gonna watch it. So like, thankfully, she found somebody to watch the kids for that long. So I had a long day, actually. So Saturday morning, like today, I'm up at 8 a.m. The kids wake me up. 9 a.m. we have to be out the door. So I live here. Downtown Orlando's here. And I work in that area-ish. The babysitter was all the way up here. So I drive 45 minutes to go all the way there. I text her like the day before, hey, by the way, this is this time I'm going to be there. This is the time I'm going to pick them up. Sorry, it's going to be a long day. Cool. I have her number. I arrive. Nobody's picking up their phone. I'm like, fuck. Call. Nobody's picking up. I'm like, shit. So now I'm ready to be late to work because like I plan on dropping off the kids. Hi, bye. Like, thank you so much. And first off, like, I wouldn't do this a note. First off, Katie knows this person, but like also wouldn't do this to nobody. But like, the girls are 4 and 6. Like, literally, if I give them food and water, there is nothing they need. Like, they can use the bathroom, they can entertain themselves, they can play with themselves, they can watch TV, they can play with their tablet. Just right. There's nothing they need. Granted, parenting involves more than that, activities and hell, I was trying to do job applications the other day, and like the girls tattling each other. Hey, Dad, like he cheated this. I'm like, stop. Like I'm working. But on a good day, like they can just figure it out and like hang out and just f off and do their thing, right? Sorry, they can't cook. Amelia can make a peanut butter and jelly out of the fridge, but like I'm training her to use the air fryer and microwave, but like can't do that yet, like solo. So like, but if I just put food and water here, they can figure it out, right? They can take a shower by themselves. They can use the bathroom. Yeah. So anyway, the person finally just woke up. So I'm ready to be late to work. So I text work. All right, I'm be 10 minutes late. Didn't matter because like, again, I could set up that bar in 15 minutes, and I'm supposed to be there 30 minutes beforehand. So obviously with 20 minutes, and also first off, it's a Saturday. We open at 11 a.m. Like nobody's rushing to get it through the door. I don't think we had a single table till like 11:45. So there's a lot of chilling. Actually, no. I forget, but it was not like, hey, you got to be ready at 11 a.m. Like, but anyway, didn't matter. I was 10 minutes late, but thankfully this person woke up, thanked her. Here's the kids, boom. So I get to work. Not a great shift, but then again, that's the dichotomy. So like I've explained this to you guys before, but at least in my experience in my career, bartending is actually like people like think like, oh, you're a bartender, cool, and the server's like, oh, you're just a server. The hierarchy actually goes the other way. At least in my experience, like the jobs that I've worked. Granted, it flips flops depending on your industry and what job you do and all that kind of stuff, obviously. But part of it is that it just has to be. You have to think about it as I don't know if you guys care. Just skip ahead. It's just simple numbers, right? Like a good example right now, I have a 24-seat bar at Runabout. How much money do you think people are going to spend, right? A lot of people are just solo. Have a beer or two, but that's fine. It's fine. But I'm just trying to explain numbers to you. A beer or two, cool. A couple, sometimes they want to split a entree or something. And then also, when you have 24 seats, you're actually almost never going to fill up 24 seats. People rarely want to go shoulder to shoulder, especially post COVID, right? And then, sorry, right? So like you don't actually have 24 seats, whereas the restaurant actually is like 50, 60 seats. My other manager server, he got the entire restaurant. So now you can actually see like he's definitely getting, at 1.6 top, 8 top, 2 top, 4 top. And then everybody's definitely eating. Like, you don't go to a restaurant, sit down and don't eat, right? Right? So think about that. Like, so now you got like, let's say like randomly, boom, that's 24 people all ordering drinks, maybe plural, and entrees versus, the bar, maybe I'll have like 8 people and maybe half of them are only half of them are eating, right? Like you just think about these numbers, like vastly different numbers, right? So you can only do so much business. Granted, I get a tip out because I'm making all the drinks for the server, But like, let me tell you, today and last week, he definitely made way, way, way more money than me. Okay, cool, whatever. So I'm there from 10:30. And then actually I had a phone interview. One of my former coworkers works at a beer place, actually, which would be nice to work back in beer. Well, I work at Runabout, so it's beer based, but it would be nice to work at a beer bar. Well, I'm working at a brewery and a beer bar. Anyway, this is a beer bar. Visited him with a bunch of the old Sanford Brewing staff. Really cool place. Big menu. Lots of cool beers. Lots of cans and bottles and all that stuff. Like exactly like the kind of like expertise that I fucking crush at. So apparently they're looking for somebody to work Sundays. I was like, bro, I'm not scheduled on Sundays right now. And apparently the money's pretty decent. I was like, give me like I just like every single decent shift I could use would be killer. So I have an interview. So actually, I literally just clocked out of work, called, had a phone interview. So I have an in-person interview this week, and then went directly to my other job. So fingers crossed I get that job. So anyway, so back to back, right? Clocked out. Yeah, I left around like 4:30. Boom, at my next job at 5. Let's go. This time, they actually gave me a bartending shift. Like I guess a few of the staff are cross trained, but like I guess like I'm probably the most. No, I'm not close. Easily the most experienced to be able to do both, right? So I guess they gave me a Saturday bar shift. Slow day. Like, and the crazy thing with the bars is that there's 2 bartenders because we have about like 20 seats. Like you can count 20 seats, but what does 20 seats actually mean? Like again, people don't like sitting next to each other. I even noticed people were just like swiveling around, like putting like 2 seats in between each other, right? So now if you're doing 2 people, no 2 seats, 2 people, you got 10 people in a bar. And again, a 10-seat bar for 2 bartenders is worth nothing. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, in 6 hours, I sold about 10 entrees. So I was a person taking care of the people at the bar. The other bartender was Service Well. If you don't know Service Well, that's like the person that makes the drinks for the servers, right? Makes the drinks, and then the servers run them to the restaurant. So think about that: 10 entrees. Okay, I was there for like 6 hours. Let's say I sold 12 entrees. That's about me and my bartender, right? So 12 entrees. That's about an entree an hour. An entree an hour between 2 of us because we're splitting tips, right? Obviously, there's drinks involved too. Bro, an entree is like $13. And some people are splitting entrees too, so it's a little crazy. But let's say, so if you're selling an entree an hour, that's like $3 in tips per hour. That's you're not going to get anywhere. My hourly's $10 an hour. If I'm making $3 an hour on top of that, I'm literally making Florida minimum wage. Okay. Granted, there were some drinks in those sales too, but yeah, let me tell you, I think the entire night's take from the bar, tip-wise, was like $120 between the 2 of us. And I was there for 6 hours. Oof. Granted, there's a tip out from the servers because we make all the drinks, but again, I don't even know what the tip out is or how it works and what the breakdown is, which honestly is a little crazy. Like there is, and I was thinking about this. I was like, well, what's more important? It's like there's nothing more important. At a job, there is literally nothing more important than what you're paid, right? Like the responsibilities you do as a worker and then what you get paid. Like I don't care if there's atmosphere and HR and etiquette, dude. We are here. Isn't there's it's 2025. They got rid of slavery. I am here to make an income. Like the zeros and the ones and the numbers and the periods and what that means when I work, right? Like, and then obviously the fucking employer cares a shit ton. They're like labor. We're trying to cut labor down, right? Like that's the number one thing. Work equals money. Like, so not understanding that breakdown and how much they make, I'm like, fuck. So I gotta maybe figure that shit out. But anyway. So slow as fuck. And then all of a sudden, we get a pop at like 8 o'clock for some reason. And then another pop at 9 o'clock, even though the restaurant, another pop at like 9:30, even though the restaurant closes, the restaurant quote unquote closes at 10 o'clock, but they refuse to do last call. Like they refuse to let you do last call. So that the restaurant actually closed at 11. It's such a dumb system. Like Google lists it 10:30, but like you actually close at 11. Because every single bar restaurant I've ever worked at, there's a thing called last call because you can't serve if you close at 10. Again, this restaurant. If you close at 10:30 and you're still serving till 10:30, you can't kick people out as you give them a drink, right? That's why every single bar operates in this last call world where last 15 minutes, last 30 minutes. Some places do an hour, which is nuts. So I understand an hour for the kitchen, but like for drinks, you expect people to like have a single drink for a full hour? That's crazy. So, but anyway, almost all places I worked at, anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes. This place refuses to do that based on the ownership. So they really close at 11. All right, fuck. All right, it's fine. So it was so dead that I was planning to like walk out at 10:35, like have the bartender do some stuff, and he gets cut. I probably should have asked him if I could take the swap where I get to leave first, and then he closes. I didn't do that anyway. So, and I'm bugging because like it's so slow, and by the way, this poor girl that I can't afford anything right now anyway, so she agreed to do all this babysitting for $100. That's fucking drop them off at almost 10 a.m. I didn't pick them up till like 11:45, so that's like 13 hours for $100. That's crazy. Granted, again, the girl's like if it was a real baby or something, like there's no way you can get away with that. I would just literally just not work. And I was hoping to make more money to make it worth it. So I'm literally standing there, chilling at work, just doing the math in my head. Like I literally showed up to work to do the 5 to 11 to make enough just to pay the babysitter. I'm like, motherfucker, I just should go home, right? I should have just went home and, right, made it easier for her, made it easier for myself. Like, I'm literally working to make no money almost at that rate, right? So I'm bugging. I'm dying. Like, sorry. And I'm just like, I'm flipping out. Like, mentally, I'm just like, you know, and there's so much work to do behind that bar. Like, they have a convoluted bar menu. Well, not really that convoluted, but it's just too much for a fucking Mexican place. Like why the fuck there are like 12 different versions of a fruited margarita? I don't know. Way too many. Granted, bottles are okay. Like your Mexican place, you want to have like, you know, a gajillion different like tequila bottles. Cool, bottles fine. They could that bottle like, bro. A lot of these bottles, you sell like 2 drinks out of it. You pay for the entire bottle, and it can just sit there. So you've already recouped your cost, and it sits there. And hell, every single one drink you sell after that is just freaking profit, right? It could just sit there, and it's liquor, so it doesn't like expire or anything. But anyway, it's like way too many garnishes, and so anyway, so like obviously like I'm planning ahead. Like I'm a beast at this. Plan ahead, always be closing, which is funny because like always be closing is actually used for a term to be always closing deals. I mean it, like I'm always trying to close a bar or restaurant. I'm trying to get like again, like every minute I'm there not making tips means I'm just not making money, right? Like so right? Like that makes sense. Like every minute I'm there not serving a guest and making money off tips, I'm just wasting time. Like I'm making less money dollars per hour, right? So the goal is like once you're done, like or once the place closes, like I want to be out the door. And obviously you can't do that, but I'm trying, right? I'm trying. So I was thinking in my back of my mind, I was like, man, I gotta get out of here at 10:35. Oh man, we had like pretty much like 11 people walk in less than an hour before close and just sit there and just drinks. And it'd be cool if they went to the bar and I'd be making tips off it, and oh yeah, a few extra dollars, cool. They all sat at tables, so like I'm only making like a small fraction of a tip out of that, and now I'm just stuck behind the bar, just like literally serving no guests, making no tips at the bar. There's basically nobody at the bar. Oh no, sorry, yeah. The bar again. That bar made no money that night. Like the 2 bartenders already split like $60, $120 bucks. I want to say. Servers, by the way, are crushing it. This one girl, she had a bunch of other tables that night. She had one 6-top that spent like almost $100 a head. Because again, that's what the thing you could do when you're serving. You have a party where they're buying $25 shots, tequila flights. Grande margaritas that are like $20, like $20 each because they're there for like an occasion. Bro, at the bar, I have a couple, 2 drinks and 1 entree. And again, I'm not blaming people for how much they spend, but like, right, like just factually for like the position of what you're doing, you know, generate revenue, right? Like so, literally, that girl with that one table, which was probably like a fifth, I don't know, like. It was a little bit bloated in sales, but like she had way more business on top of that, like multiple tables for the night. Obviously she was there for 6 hours. That one table made as much money for the bar for the entire night. split with 2 people, so that one person in one table in 1 hour or 1.5 hours, or let's say 2 hours, made equal to 2 bartenders for the entire night for 6 hours, right? Like it's just like that's kind of work. So I'm just frustrated, and then so going forward, A, I don't want to do these long days. B, I don't want bar shifts, and then C, obviously it was a long day, but the back of my mind just knowing that like I'm literally working to make no money because I'm paying a babysitter just to work, but I'm not even making enough money to compensate for that, right? So I'm just like dying. I'm just dying. So anyway, this has been a stupid day. It's 1 a.m. now. I'm giving you guys a long rant. I woke up at 1 a.m. 8 a.m. Drove all day, went to work, was on my feet for 12 hours. So that's a 12, 16, 17-hour day. And I'm not even done yet because I still haven't had dinner. Thankfully, I bought some takeout on the drive-through on the way home because I haven't eaten since 3 p.m. because that was my quote-unquote lunch. And I haven't had a chance to eat. So I haven't eaten in 10 hours. So I'm like a little delirious. Actually, I have more rants to give you guys, but I think there's enough bitching. And I just spent like time that I really should be like relaxing. But this is a nice relaxing time. And honestly, it's nice giving this out. Because this angry drink right here, because like, bro, if I didn't have to be up with the girls tomorrow morning, and bro, I'd be angry. But honestly, this having a little sip of something and excuse me, have a little sip of something and just like not being angry, letting this therapeutic kind of like thing, because it like really relax me. It's really nice. See, now we're in a better place. But yo, I'm gonna tell you, I was angry closing that bar. I'm honestly anyway, I don't really close that bar, so I'd be curious what they could say to me about like how quote unquote bad my close was. Maybe I'll find out tomorrow. It's like, hey Darwin, you do this, you do that. But I was trying to rush the fuck out of there because again, like this poor babysitter, she's been there since 10 a.m. I picked them up almost at midnight. You want me to pick them up at like 1 a.m.? And she has a kid too, apparently, or not apparently. She does have a kid. I just found out when I picked the girls up. A poor girl only paid $100. Until next time, cheers. Enough ranting. Cheers.